Yeah, just talk to us about this, because some people are concerned about potentially Rishi Sunak going a little bit soft on China. Is he not?
Well, you're right, Patrick. The language is certainly softer than Liz Truss's language on this, where she was more or less, challenge. She liked to talk about defeating people and powers, including Russia and China. But I think in that clip, we got to what the current Prime Minister, anyway, really wants to do, which is to be absolutely in line with Australia and the US. They're the closest allies on this. And China is a problem, because China is very aggressive and confrontational in certain aspects, but it is indispensable in fora mentioned by Rishi Sunak, like World Health, dealing with COVID. And interestingly, during the G20, Mr. Sunak has mentioned that China may well be part of the solution of getting a peace resolution between Ukraine
well,
and Russia.
Can I just, Robert, can I just interject on that and just hold a bit of a mirror up to some of the views that we get here on GBNews quite a lot. A lot of people believe that China was completely and utterly responsible for the coronavirus and indeed potentially the spread of. They also believe that China just does not wish us well generally. OK, so the fact that they're quite a nefarious regime, potentially, about to invade Taiwan, spying on us left, right and centre, quite brutal, used incredibly strong rhetoric when it came to Hong Kong, i.e. they are an enemy. Should they be treated as such?
No, because it's much more subtle than that. That you can hold up the mirror, as you rightly say. And the mirror, unfortunately, is showing a bit of a caricature here. I agree. Look at the behaviour over Hong Kong, and that's one reason why they cannot be trusted. But the fact is that China is absolutely vital to world trade. And let's park coronavirus, because that is part of the great conspiracy theory. We have no idea, really, how coronavirus leapt from the animal world to the human species. And although it happened in Wuhan, it did not happen for the first time in Wuhan. That is absolutely clear from evidence from Italy, from Africa.
I think people are saying they could have done a lot. They could have done a lot more to maybe stop it spreading, or at least alert the world.
I know.
Yeah, I think people, frankly, are very miffed about that, and still are, because as a result of the coronavirus crisis, yes, there was the death toll. That is significant. People with long COVID, but as well the economic ruin that it's led to. And
created by China.
What's that? Sorry.
It wasn't created by China.
Well, yeah, potentially not. Yes, no.
But I agree, people are worried about it, but I don't think they're necessarily in command of the facts about it.
No, well, fair enough. OK, that's all right. I mean, look, there are numerous reports that have not ruled out the lab leak theory. I am not parroting the lab leak theory. I'm simply saying...
I'm not an expert on it.
Absolutely, fair enough. Right, just finally on this China stuff. Now, people are concerned about maybe a return to the Cameron days. I mean, there was even talk of them being involved with something like the development of some nuclear plants and things like that. I can't help but feel as though maybe they're just taking us for a bit of a ride, are they, the Chinese, because they know that they're so powerful and big and strong.
Oh, they're not quite as powerful and big and strong. There's so many things going wrong with their economy and where they've suffered from coronavirus. You are absolutely right, though. We have learnt our lesson. People like Mrs. May were far too accommodating, both on nuclear deal and communication. Remember, Huawei and G5, the next mobile phone system, we had given China a let-in, and if you give China a let-in in telecommunications, they'll get into security.
Well, this is a big thing. This is a big thing.